Now the details. Thank you for taking the time to join us. At the UN headquarters in New York, His Excellency President Paul Kagame joined the SD Digital Day alongside Deputy UN Secretary General Amina Mohamed, ITU Secretary General Doreen Bodang Martin, UNDP Administrator Jim Steiner, and Microsoft Vice Chair and President, who is also an SDG advocate, Brad Smith, to discuss how digital technologies can accelerate towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The event was co-organized by the International Telecommunications Union and UNDP.
All over the world, we are witnessing the power of technology to transform lives. The Broadband Commission, which I'm honored to co-chair, was created to ensure equitable access to high-speed internet so that everyone benefits. Unfortunately, a third of the world's population still remain offline. To reach universal connectivity, we must reduce costs and invest in digital skills and access to smart devices. Everyone has their part to play to unlock these results, both in the public and private sectors, and still these challenges are too big for anyone to solve alone. In this context, the Secretary General's roadmap for digital cooperation provides us with a strong framework to work together to implement the Sustainable Development Goals. Rwanda also supports ITU's call to the public and private sectors to increase their pledges for the Partner to Connect Digital Coalition to $100 billion by 2026. Of the $30 billion already raised, almost half will be used to enhance digital connectivity in least developed countries. This shows that we are taking positive steps in the right direction to build digital capacity where it can have the greatest impact. In Rwanda, through the GIGA initiative, spearheaded by ITU and UNICEF, we are seeing firsthand the value of partnership. The pilot project in 63 schools has made connectivity faster and cheaper. In Africa, we are blessed to have a young and vibrant population, which is passionate about entrepreneurship and self-improvement. We cannot afford to have the digital divide stifle their creativity and productivity. Connecting them online in a safe and meaningful manner is about giving them the opportunity to compete in the global market and achieve their full potential. Allow me to conclude with a word on artificial intelligence. To cross the finish line and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, we need to leverage the power of this technology. We have to keep in mind that it must work for us, not against us. In this regard, I commend ITU for convening the AI for Good Global Summit earlier this year. We will need a collective and coordinated approach to AI governance frameworks which protect everyone, everywhere.
His Excellency Paul Kagame speaking in New York on Sunday. Our most sincere apologies for those technical difficulties. Now, the management of the Water Sanitation Corporation has assured Rwandans that its services, that is the services of the agency, are going to improve after the reforms that took place to its structure and management. We have the details with Adam Squizera.
The problem of water supply is noted as one of the threats to the community's well-being across the country, especially in rural areas. As in the southern province, some people are still facing the problem of accessing clean water due to the poor performance of the entrepreneurs who manage it daily, same to the residents in Western Province, Rusizi district. Want WASAC to solve the issue of this entrepreneur, since we residents, it is us who gets affected, since we drink dirty water, yet we are given clean water. We have a water supply problem here in the city, since this dirty water really threats the health of residents. Our request will be to get access to clean water. In order to find a sustainable solution to these problems and all other challenges in the water supply service delivery, the government of Rwanda has reformed the management of WASAC and became the WASAC Group. WASAC Group now consists of two companies, one of which is responsible for distribution and charging, while other is responsible for building water infrastructure and projects. The Chief Executive Officer of WASAC, Professor Munyaneza Omar, knows that these reforms will help the company to improve its performance. Meanwhile, every district will have a director of WASAC who will be responsible to accelerate the water supply programs. Where there wouldn't be a branch, there will be an establishment of sub-branches. But it is beyond that, since every province will have a director hence to promote what we call regional hub, which will accelerate the water supply services, and this will reduce the issues that was raised by the entrepreneurs who deliver service poorly, since now WASAC will have the responsibility of setting the entrepreneurs, and whenever we find that it is not necessary for it, we will be doing it for ourselves. According to WASAC, 72% of urban areas have access to water at a distance of less than 200 meters, while 56% of rural areas have access to water at a distance of less than 500 meters. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
The Ministry of Education has announced that the contributions made by parents towards the country's school feeding program will remain the same as they were last year. Adam Squizera continues.
Some parents say that setting funds for some schools as their role in supporting school feeding programs has helped them, which also contributed to reduce the number of children who used to drop out from school due to lack of fees. Before, you found that maybe a student was sent to study very far, which was a big challenge, since when he was adding up the school fees and other stuffs, it was going beyond, but at least there is something that was reduced. However, there are still some parents who fail to pay those fees, as some of the school leaders say that the hike of commodity prices at the market and the fact that some parents, to make this contribution, have left the schools with debts to their entrepreneurs who supplies food and other materials needed in this school feeding program. We have almost 300 parents who didn't pay the contribution of the school feeding program, which affected the students' admission, since before we used to admit 200 students, but now we already admitted 80, because when you tell parents all the school requirements with its total amounts, then tells you that he or she don't have all that amount. A few days before the start of the first term of the 2023-2024 academic year, the Ministry of Education has revealed that the amount of fees paid by the parents in supporting the money provided by the government in the school feeding program last year will be the same with no changes. The Minister of Education, Dr. Twagirayezu Gaspard, urged the heads to refrain from setting up the fees anyhow. The contribution we are requesting the parents, particularly in the school feeding program, will remain to be as it was in the regulations, since the program of school feeding has helped us in many things, including that students can now attend classes and study, but it also have to be done well, since there is a government contribution that have to be done on its part, but when the parents' contribution fails to appear, it affects the schools. That's why I want to urge parents to pledge their contribution to this program. When you see in primary school, the contribution of parents are less than 1,000 per term, which means that parents are asked to pledge their contribution as well. Then, on the other things regarding to the price hike, we sort it out through an assessment, hence to know the standings of the parents' contribution in this program. Since last academic year of 2022-2023, the Ministry of Education announced a new harmonized structure of tuition fees in pre-primary, primary, and secondary levels of education for public, technical and vocational education and training, TVET, and government-aided schools, where a parent was supposed to pay 975 Rwandan francs for school feeding program per term, whereas in secondary, a parent was supposed to pay 19,500 Rwandan francs for a day scholar student in public and government-aided secondary schools and 85,000 for students in boarding schools. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
The Rwanda Social Security Board has announced that it is considering a new system that will assist people to save their money using a phone or bank account automatically. Adam Squizera once more.
There are many who believe that saving and planning for their future is a good thing and wish for the establishment of a technology that makes it easier for them to withdraw their contribution over the mobile phone or at the bank automatically. For me, it is very nice, since if it is 500 they charge per month, it can be easy for me to get it. It would be nice if people knew it before, and it is really good. That's why we are requesting an establishment of a new way to assist us. Over 13 million Rwandans statisticians demonstrate that 8 million of them should be saving, since only 2.8 million have already saved more than 50 billion Rwandan francs. Augustine Datera, the head of Asia Hazard Department at RSSP, noted that they are planning a way that would assist many people to save for their pension. You can tell Momo or Airtel Money that whatever I buy, they should deduct either 100 francs on my account. It is a well, and this is called save on your purchase. There you can use any other way of charging the savings whenever you are getting paid your monthly salary, which could be deducted on the account automatically. The management of Asia Hazard program also started looking at how young people shouldn't wait for more than 30 years to start receiving benefits. One part could be on pension savings and another on current account, where that current account could save you anytime, but in accordance to some regulations. Hence that we need any Rwandan to know that he or she have some savings that could help the person, and another part that could start to be used by the age of 55. This saving accounts for members is given a 12% interest every year, so that about 8.7 billion was given to the members, and government itself have already included in the Asia Hazard program an amount of over 5.9 billion as its contribution.
Now, education and child development experts here in Rwanda are urging parents to pay close attention to the way their children are brought up. Now more than ever, and that it is important that they do so because the world we live in is highly influenced by technology and the dangers it brings, especially to young minds that can easily be exploited. They also urge parents to be a good example to their children, one that they will be able to rely on after they too become adults, because the influence a child gets greatly impacts the decisions they will make in the future. Research has found that the media in this modern age, most especially social media, is usually absorbed by minors unfiltered, which can be very detrimental to their mental development, especially during their adolescent years. The experts believe the promotion of cultural values here in Rwanda among the youth will help to stem the negative effects of the global village that technology has turned the world into. Now, farmers in Gatsibo district, that's in the eastern province, say they need assistance in implementing the new directives from the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources pertaining to the management of farmland, especially when it comes to machinery to make hay for their animals and artificial insemination that does not always produce the desired results. Districts have assured, district officials have assured the farmers of assistance in dealing with the issues, but have reiterated that the directives must be implemented. Issued last week, the directives require that 70% of farmland in the eastern province be used for agricultural produce, with the remaining 30% dedicated to the rearing of animals like cattle, using sheds and hay to feed them, as opposed to open grass grazing. Gatsibo district has as many as 71,000 cows. Again, thank you for taking the time to join us here on Rwanda Television. I hope you have a great week ahead of you. Goodbye.